The space-time of the astral otherworld, it's both fluid and still, which is the best way that we can describe it. It's also the way in which we describe the nature of light, being both a particle and a wave. The ability to move about in an astral dimension is more a matter of willpower and mental impression than physical movement. Using the same internal faculties and muscular impulses that we would to move in the physical world, the same direction, the same willpower in which I'm using to move my hands, simply applied to our astral form. It is possible that this same internal force is what allowed very adept wizards to move objects seemingly with their mind alone, or with the aid of crystal rods or wands. We're told that sympathetic magic, like what you would call certain forms of spellcraft, is made possible using imitation and representations, imbuing symbols with power. If we were to see this being performed, we would be witnessing the magician imitating the very actions he would be taking as if he were actually doing something himself, doing the actions as a form of imitation. As far as first-hand accounts of the Fairyland experience, Robert Kirk probably gives the best. This being one of the better editions, The Secret Lives of Elves and Fairy. Being a respected minister, Kirk kind of got away with discussing the Fairyland experience toward the end of the Dark Ages. In the case of Kirk's experience in the other world, with the exception of his last, they seem to occur with only moments passing in the lands above, or, that is to say, the world of humans, the Middle Earth. It is as if Kirk was trying to say, without the privilege of having use of quantum terminology, that events and places in Fairyland existed from an infinite palette of waves of possibility, of potentiality, which only become narrowed down to particles of finite experience by will and observation. The observer has the ability to manipulate what is seen and felt in the experience based on expectations, attitude, willpower, our ability to sense, our sensory perceptions, and this is similar to even the psychology of like the psychedelic experience. Now, one of the things that in understanding the nature of the Fairyland that comes in handy, and let's put up our chalkboard here. Yeah. This is the Fibonacci sequence, which should be familiar to some people, developed by a mathematician by making a sequence in which the sum of the two before it is the result of what follows. When graphed, we actually see a tree of growth, the logarithmic tree, in the beginning of the fractal snowflake, and also known as the sign of the Elves. So the secret of nature's growth is hidden in that insignia, the Algiz rune, as it is known in the Norse runic system. Metaphysically speaking, though, the relationship really is the phi ratio. It makes things beautiful. We see it in nature. We see it in how humans are formed, even your fingers and everything. The phi ratio, which is 1 to 1.618, is the phi ratio. You also see it in the golden spiral. All that stuff in sacred geometry that's become kind of popular there. And these, if you were to take these numbers, and these like 3 to 5, 8 to 13, 89 to 144, these are all figures in the Fibonacci sequence. And then we see the result of what their ratio actually is. And by doing that, you see that they're actually exceptionally close to the phi ratio. So